Good afternoon, I'm James Worthington and this is your hourly sports news update. Anger continues to flow through North London as Arsenal fans are up in arms. Manager Arsene Wenger's position has once again been called into question following his side's recent poor performances this season. I'm here with reporter Kieran Wilson. Now Kieran, do you think his position has become untenable yet?
I think if you look at the past few seasons, Arsenal have been in this sort of situation time and time again, and they've usually stuck by Arsene Wenger. But if you look at Ian Wright, who said on the Monday Night Club last night, he said that he can't make a case for Wenger to remain as manager beyond the end of the season. And he's a very influential former player. He's got a lot of take with the fans. He's also said that some players are on easy street, and it's easy to see that players like Mesut Ozil sometimes get that reputation for maybe not trying for the manager as much as they want. He's also criticised owner Stan Kroenke, says that he doesn't care, and he's also come out and said that he can see Thierry Henry as a potential successor, and things like that don't help stabilise Arsene Wenger's position at all.
Okay, and where will this leave Arsenal Football Club if the fans get their wish and Wenger is sacked?
I think it's unpredictable when a top club changes manager. You've seen that with Man United when they brought in David Moyes. But you look at Arsenal at the moment, it's anything but unpredictable. Anyone can predict that they won't finish in the top four at the end of this season, and most people will predict that they won't win a trophy. So it's really hard to see how long it can carry on, especially with the large opposition from fans. You see that on Arsenal Fan TV. They've got a very organised fan base that always have wanted Wenger out for quite a long time, so that's what you can take from that. Okay, thank you, Kieran.
Up next in football, Swansea host Sheffield Wednesday in their FA Cup replay tonight for a place in the quarter-finals. The teams drew 0-0 last week and both will be hoping to advance. Swansea currently reside in the relegation zone, whilst Wednesday are at the wrong end of the table in the Championship. Elsewhere in football, Neil Lennon says he fully expects to be charged by the Scottish Football Association following Hibernian's draw with Kilmarnock on Saturday. The Hibs manager criticised Scottish match officials as Mickey Mouse after a penalty was awarded against his Hibs side at Rugby Park. Lennon was sent to the stands after the incident and told a press conference that his reaction was an emotional outburst. The world's most expensive player will be absent from the biggest stage in Europe next year. Brazilian Neymar looks to be out for a month and will miss his side's second leg against reigning champions Real Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League. The French side will need to turn around a 2-goal deficient against Cristiano Ronaldo and Marcelo, put the Spanish side in firm control of the tie. The teams will meet next Tuesday. Former West Brom boss Tony Pulis has backed Alan Pardew to remain as the Baggies' boss. Pardew's woes continued as Chris Brunt criticised Pardew for his tactics. Pulis, who currently manages Middlesbrough, believes that the former Newcastle manager has what it takes to keep the Albion in the Premier League. Tottenham may have to play their opening home fixtures away from their newly developed ground. The new stadium may not be ready for the start of the 18-19 Premier League season, but Daniel Levy has reassured fans after meeting with members of the Tottenham Hotspur's Supporters Trust. The North London team are back in action tomorrow when they host Rochdale in the 5th round of the FA Cup. The third biggest event on the snooker calendar has officially begun. Jude Trump will be hoping for revenge after his loss in the final to Stuart Bingham. Bingham ran out as 9-8 winner in an evenly contested final. 16-year-old Jackson Page will be hoping to showcase his skills on the biggest stage. The Formula 1 season will soon be upon us as testing is underway. Sebastian Vettel has recorded the quickest time thus far as Ferrari look for revenge on constructor champions Mercedes. The first race of the season is in Melbourne on the 25th of March, and Hamilton is yet to race, but will look to match Vettel's time. Golf's US Open will be changing its traditional 18-hole playoff. It was the only remaining championship that forced the players to play an additional round of after their 4 previous days of action. Organisers now say they'll have a 2-hole playoff to determine the winner. That's all from us now. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Solent Newsdays for live updates and to also hear about future stories that we may be posting in the future. Also remember to like our Facebook page and potentially share it at Solent Newsdays. That's all for now. I'm James Worthington and this has been your hourly sports news update for the day. I don't know what to say.
Use the box. Use the box.
Hey, where is the box?
Let's have a discussion about
2.5 minutes.
Quick.
Looking back at the Arsene Wenger prediction, we go back to Kieran Wilson, who seems to have more updates for us. Kieran, do you think the players would be behind Arsene Wenger in this?
I think that he obviously does have a lot of pull as a manager. He has got a massive reputation in football. Look at what he did for Arsenal when he came in.
Back on our live news bulletin, we spoke to Jamie Spohr about Southampton's season and what its supporters feel. So, Jamie, how's it going?
So yeah, I went out into Southampton earlier, and there were mixed reactions amongst the Saints fans about the draw at the weekend. Most of them thought it was a good result when you think that, you know, Burnley are up near the top of the league, and the fact that Gabbiadini scored right at the end. I think a lot of Saints fans probably would have taken a point beforehand. In terms of this weekend, obviously they've got Stoke at home, which is a massive 6-pointer down at the bottom. There were mixed emotions. Some felt confident, some not quite so confident. But I think the fact that Gabbiadini did score at the weekend, you know, if you look in the Stoke team, they've got their main striker is Berahino. He's not scored for nearly 2 years. So I think, yeah, there's mixed emotions, and of course after Stoke they go to Newcastle, which is another massive game, and I think that it'll probably be those two games that will determine their season. You know, if they can get 3 points, 4 points, or even 6 points from those, you know, I mean, obviously they're out the drop zone now, and it's so tight down there that one win and you're up into mid-table. So yeah, there seems to be yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. That's been our reporter Jamie Spohr reporting live on Southampton and its season so far of its fans. This has been Solent Sports News. Make sure you follow our Twitter at solentsportsnews.com. I've been James Worthington. Thank you very much.